My boy Darkblood's back.
Oh yeah, they just had that teaser, didn't they? Yeah, wow.
How did it feel to step into completely uncharted territory with the character?
And this one is, it's completely new storyline, so it'll. I think people will get a kick out of it. All right,
Hello, bud. How are you?
good. How are you doing?
Good. What a stunning backdrop you've got there, by the way.
It's just a picture I took a long time ago.
No. We can say you've got a better one than I have. Yeah.
You don't want to see my office. My office is just a mess.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe I should have done the same as well. Dude, thank you so much for chatting to me today about Audrey's Children. I watched it the other day and I feel so content, so warm, so fuzzy from watching it.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you liked it.
But you've played some serious tough guys in the past, from Lex Luthor to my boy Hank Anderson. But Dr. Koop is a different kind of powerhouse. How does he stand apart from the other iconic characters you've played before?
Well, he was real. That's one thing. He's a real dude. He's a real guy. But I'm glad you said that he's a powerhouse, because he really was. He's the real thing. I mean, he was a immensely talented surgeon. He separated Siamese twins and did open heart surgery on infants. I mean, he changed the way surgical medicine was practiced in pediatrics, and opened it up, which created better outcomes and so forth. Wasn't afraid of anything. It certainly wasn't afraid to hire a woman to be his chief of oncology at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia in 1969. I mean, a woman couldn't even open a bank account in the United States without a male cosigner back in those days. And that didn't bother him at all, because all he saw was somebody that could assist him in his mission of making children's lives, making children's live longer and making children's lives better, and overcoming the illnesses that affect kids right and left. But he had no idea that she was going to change the world the way she changed the world. I mean, I'm sure he never thought of putting an aviary in the hospital, or he certainly never thought about buildings, buying a house to house the families. He never thought about carrying little bunnies in to visit the sick kids and brightening up their day. And I mean, that's what, not only did she bring that science, but she brought that sensibility and compassion to pediatrics, to caring for sick kids and sick families, right? Ultimately, that wouldn't have occurred to Koop, but it also didn't intimidate him that he didn't think of it, because ultimately they were on the same boat. They were in the same boat about making lives better. I mean, that's sort of what's powerful about Koop, is that he was at the top of his game, but he didn't even let his ego get involved when it came to achieving the final mission, the final goal that he had.
As you said there, he was a giant when it came to medicine, but he's also somewhat of a pop culture icon. I mean, the man has been name dropped in Seinfeld, Futurama, The Simpsons. So did stepping into a role of someone so iconic add like this extra layer of pressure for you? Or is it a case of like, oh, if Homer Simpson can do it, so can I?
Yeah, right. Well, right. So, but this was before he became the Surgeon General of the United States, and everybody, he became that sort of the Koop we all think of in the zeitgeist of the '80s. Where he's in his uniform, he's saying no smoking and doing what, making pronouncements. He was this accomplished surgeon. He was this top of the line medical, wonderkind. And it was one of the problems because when he was at CHOP and he hired her, he was probably in his 40s, maybe late 30s, and I'm not in my late 30s.
What?
into yes, believe it or not, I went into. I asked Amy. I said, Amy, you know, I'm honestly, I'm a little old to play this era of Koop. What are we going to do? And she said, well, we're going to do the Koop that everybody knows or thinks they know, because that's really that's the touchstone that we want, the popular touchstone that we want to get on. So my job was kind of two things. It was sort of to embody, you know, both Koops. Koop before he was a public figure, and Koop the gifted surgeon and administrator of Children's Hospital team, and then also the guy that we know that got dressed up in a uniform and went around and shook his finger at people who were smoking.
And I spoke to Natalie Dormer yesterday, and she's previously mentioned that you filmed all your scenes together in just 1 week. What was that experience like for you? Was it like an acting boot camp, or did you two just instantly click?
Well, she knows what she's doing. I mean, you know, she's pretty well trained, and she had been living with the role for a while. So I had the great privilege of just kind of watching her work. I, you know, never had to second guess what she was doing, because she was just so accomplished, generally, but also accomplished in this role. She embodied Audrey so completely, and I was just trying to keep up with her. One of the scenes that we had was we were doing this walk and talk, and I had to say a whole bunch of technical language, a lot of chemistry words, and I could not get it out. I mean, the problem is that she could live with those words. She would just look at me and say, well, it's just this, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, yeah, I know, it's just blah, 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 but I'm having trouble saying that all at once in the speech. So I wish I had a couple more weeks so I could master those I don't even think they're words, really. The terminology, I don't even know where they come up with these medical. You know, it's like another language in a way. But you know, so I was just trying to keep up with her. That's the problem of filming it in a week, is that I couldn't keep up with her. But she was very generous with me on the set. So I appreciated her patience.
I mean, I love talking to her yesterday. I just thought you might be one of the nicest, purest souls I've ever met.
She is. She's one of the nicest actresses I've ever worked with, for sure. 100%.
Koop obviously mentored Audrey through some really serious challenges. Who would you say has been your personal Koop, your mentor that's helped you navigate the sort of crazy wild world of Hollywood?
Oh boy. If I mention somebody, I'm leaving somebody out. I mean, there's so many, right? There's so many. The safe answer is my wife. So I'll just say that. You know, she just managed to keep me on the straight and narrow. How
has she supported you?
Well, how does she not support me? I mean, she puts up with a lot of nonsense. She holds down the fort when I have to fly to Philadelphia for a week to do this. She comes to see all the movies. She hasn't actually seen this one yet, but she's looking forward to it. She's out there trying to keep the dogs quiet while I'm talking, you know, in my office, my crappy office, but you know.
Audrey's Children tells obviously an inspiring story about helping kids. I mean, you've played Mr. Krabs for over 25 years now. Have you ever had a moment where you realised how much your voice, how much Mr. Krabs has meant to children, to kids worldwide?
Oh yeah, every day. I mean, we went into the Philadelphia Ronald McDonald House, had a tour of that, which is a remarkable place. It's not the original one she bought, which is also pretty cool, but the one they have now and they built onto, and it's really built for, it's purpose built. I don't know how to explain it. It's so welcoming and so warm, and all the volunteers are warm and everything. And so, you know, and I met a few of the kids, and so I can go right to Mr. Krabs and do Mr. Krabs' voice for them, and you know, you talk to him and stuff like that, because they don't know who C. Everett Koop is, and they don't know any of those other people. They don't even know who Audrey Evans is, but they will. But they know who Mr. Krabs is, and you know, I can tell them I can answer questions about SpongeBob and Squidward and Patrick and have, you know, make some jokes and do some funny voices, and it matters. You know, it does matter. It happens every day.
Now, I mean, even when you did the Mr. Krabs, I'm 31 years old, and even I got goosebumps when you did that. So,
oh, did you? Well, it's more than just loving money. You gotta love all the boys, all the kids.
But my mind nearly went.
Gotta love your customers. Everybody's a customer.
I was not expecting it to take that turn in this interview, but I'm pleased it did. Before I go, I also want to talk about another one of your animated characters. My boy Darkblood's back.
Oh, yeah, they just had that teaser, didn't they? Yeah, wow.
Oh, dude, it blew my mind. I mean, since this twist never happened in the comics, how did it feel to step into completely uncharted territory with the character?
Well, that whole project is uncharted territory for me. I you know, it's a lot of fun. Kirkman is involved. You know, he's on the Zooms when we record and everything. So it's always fun to see what he comes up with and how they decide to. How they just, I guess the word is animate it, but you know, how he decides to realize it with the words that he puts in her mouth. And this one is, you know, it's completely new storyline, so I think people will get a kick out of it. I was kind of shaking my head at it, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Not as cool as Audrey's Children, though. Not as cool as Ronald McDonald House and Audrey's Children and Children's Hospital of Philadelphia and all the angels that live and work in that milieu. Well,
Bud, thank you so much for hanging out with me, for chatting about that. And you know what? You can let your dogs bark as much as you want now.
I know. I tell them that.
Thank you so much for chatting to me. It's been a real delight. Thank you.
Nice talking to you, Daniel.